Good evening, person that we treat like a moron. Get ready to stop thinking for yourself as we tell you what you should think for your protection and our control. And to be inclusive, I'd like to share that my propaganda words are he, him, climate crisis, and stands with Ukraine. Tonight, we'll be feeding you bullshit about monkeypox, the sequel to the pandemic. We can't wait. Along with the latest in transgenderism, how being fat and disgusting is sexy, the Disinformation Governance Board is dead, the Texas school shooting, and how Kamala Harris is being more brilliant than ever. But first, George W. Bush took a break from being forgotten about to give a press conference to admit his guilt. Take a look.
The decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine.
Even though the public doesn't pretend anymore because of what's called proof, W apparently forgot that he's still supposed to pretend that he didn't unjustly invade Iraq in the exact same fashion that he's accusing Putin of with Ukraine. A nostalgic reminder that corruption can be on either side of the political aisle, because back then it was on the right. And today, it's still on the right because we tell you so. And at a level of self-discovery, it's beautiful how W sees so much of himself in Putin. Some people forget just how good Bush was at not being intelligent. Though there is one man, and one man only, who makes George W. Bush look like a genius.
I can taste it.
I didn't know adrenochrome had any flavor. Thanks for letting us know, Joe. And here's President Brandon wearing a mask all by himself as he's getting off a plane and then removing it as he approaches actual people. Theatrical performances are hard to coordinate, aren't they, Joe? And here's a picture of Biden not knowing what he's looking at as he's protecting himself from a piece of paper and a pandemic that ended 2 years ago. And in other news, if you liked COVID, then you're gonna love the sequel, monkeypox. But as Cassidy Campbell says, I can't believe it's monkeypox season already. I still have my Ukraine decorations up. After globalists held a monkeypox rehearsal exercise last year, a monkeypox outbreak is coincidentally happening right on schedule. Due to censorship, all we can tell you about monkeypox is that the only way to protect yourself from it is to be scared and obedient. And to help you with that, we'll continue to be your most trusted source of fear-mongering as we give you authoritarian commands to obey. But what we can tell you about the monkeypox outbreak that definitely wasn't planned is that Alex Jones predicted it. Just something to think about. We got him completely deplatformed and he's still at it. Are we gonna have him assassinated?
Yes.
Great. That'll be very helpful to us. In response to the recent outbreak, Bill Gates says, monkeypox, that's cute. Hold my beer. Smallpox, can't wait, Bill. You don't happen to have a cure for the disease that you're promoting, do you? This just in! He does. That'll make you feel either much safer or much more terrified. You be the judge. And of course, anytime you have people who aren't completely controlled by the one true narrative that we bring you, partially funded by Bill, you'll have people dangerously doing their own thinking. And in response to that, we're saying Bill Gates predictably triggered the monkeypox outbreak. Oh, I mean, monkeypox triggers new conspiracy theories about Bill Gates. I just pulled a W. Bush, didn't I? Whoops. We can just edit that out.
We're live.
Oh, well, no problem. We'll just edit people's thoughts. Monkeypox is gonna kill you and your family. Bill is here to save you. He's your only hope. And anyone who doesn't believe it is a dangerous extremist. Now go dye your hair blue. As Bill Hicks once said, you are free to do as we tell you. And now for our viewer comment of the week. Cool Papa J Magic says, a government that is allowed to break the law during an emergency will create an emergency in order to break the law. Well, cool Papa J Magic, we can confidently say that we don't know what you're talking about. Now get inside and stay there for the next 2 years. Also interesting how this video has over 4 million views. I guess people love to watch female swimming for some reason. Moving on. DC Drano, aka Rogan O'Handley, points out in the ever-devolving world of Marxism, the pronoun people have now added yellow and blue stripes to show support for Ukraine. But gay marriage is banned in Ukraine. Some people mistakenly think that the pronoun people are blindly standing for both because they're under some kind of mind control program, but we assure you that is just not the case. And speaking of the trendiness to pretend that other people's objective reality should be based on your imagination, Bill Maher said this recently.
If this spike in trans children is all natural, why is it regional? Either Ohio is shaming them or California is creating them. It's like that day we suddenly all needed bottled water all the time. If we can't admit that in certain enclaves there is some level of trendiness to the idea of being anything other than straight, then this is not a serious science-based discussion. It's a blow being struck in the culture wars using children as cannon fodder.
Well, we'd like you to know that Bill Maher has officially earned our most coveted title. He is transphobic. He thinks like a liberal and is completely unwilling to think like a leftist. And we don't want you to know the difference or how to think, so we are glad to smear him. You are canceled, Bill Maher. In order to combat the very dangerous message of Bill Maher that empowers people to embrace what's called reality, we sent one of our top scientists to testify before the House Judiciary Committee. Here you can see her questioned by Congressman Dan Bishop. Take a look.
What do you say a woman is?
I believe that everyone can identify for themselves.
Okay. Do you believe then that men can become pregnant and have abortions?
Yes.
Wow, take that, Dan Bishop. She owned you. Haha, that's the power of science. And him being a conservative, it kind of looked like he tried to rape her, didn't it? Let's take a look again.
What do you say a woman is?
Yep, he definitely tried to rape her. AOC, add him to your blacklist. And with that, we'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsor. Women's infertility is a major issue, with infertility rates approaching 30%. With men, it's even worse, with infertility rates hovering at 100%. But we have a solution. From the makers of Zoloft, we bring you Testicle Off. Testicles are a proven cause of infertility, but with Testicle Off, that problem is removed. Ask your local third grade teacher if Testicle Off is right for you. And we're back. In Texas, as Governor Greg Abbott was updating grieving families and reporters about the tragic mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, the world's most testicleless man, Beto O'Rourke, interrupted Governor Abbott.
Sit down.
You're out of line and an embarrassment.
Sit down and don't play this stuff.
Next shooting is right now.
Beto decided that what the world needed more than to respect the gravity of this situation and the tragic loss of the grieving families was to make the moment about him and his political agenda to disarm the population so the authoritarians of the world can have an easier time controlling Americans. As Beto and his very smooth crotch were being thrown out of the auditorium, the mayor of Uvalde said this to him.
I can't believe you're a sick son of a bitch that would come to a deal like this to make a political issue.
And our fact checkers have fact checked the mayor's words as true. In other news, Sports Illustrated has virtue signaled in a big way. Perhaps we could even say in an obese way, as they're now promoting the precursors of heart disease as sexy. Jordan Peterson chimed in by saying, sorry, he is Canadian, not beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that. But as we at the media have taken on the burden of protecting you by telling you what to think and feel, we can assure you this is not sexy. This is sexy. And this is even sexier. This is the best female swimmer in the country. This is the leading medical authority. And this is the president. Kamala Harris is at it once again, redundantly using words that lead nowhere so that we can get somewhere that isn't anywhere. Take a look.
That when we talk about the children of the community, they are children of the community.
Well, we know that at least two people are impressed by what she said.
Invasion of of Ukraine.
I can taste it.
In our final story tonight, rest in peace, Disinformation Governance Board. The Ministry of Truth has been shut down by the Biden administration after receiving just a little bit of backlash. The Brandon administration has decided to put its arm of censorship on pause while it seeks to find a different way to do the same thing that isn't as painfully obvious. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the Disinformation Governance Board's greatest achievements during its lifespan that didn't last as long as CNN Plus.
I want to be rich, famous, and powerful.
Disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie.
Hi, if you're listening, please tell me what to do. Who do I fuck to be famous and powerful?
Well, apparently you didn't f the right people because you're done, Nina. That's it for tonight's news. Tune in tomorrow to become an even more flaccid individual. We're coming for your children, but you won't notice because we're starting the next pandemic. Good night. Real quick, I want to let you know I've got all new designs in my Freedom Shop. If you want to help spread the freedom vibes and look like a lion doing so, check it out at awakenwithjp.com. Hi. We're living in tough times where it is very important that you are divisive with your family and friends about any issue, but that can be stressful. That's why I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Magnesium Breakthrough, because it helps reduce your stress. Whether you're stressed out because you're living a purposeful, productive life and life just gets to you sometimes, or because you're living like an idiot and you just create wars wherever you go, maybe you're sick and tired of feeling stressed and the energy drained from it. I know I am, and that's why I love Magnesium Breakthrough. I think it's as simple as this. The formula for living a low quality of life is accumulate your stress. But the formula for having a high quality of life where you feel good energy, you're in a good mood, and you have happy thoughts, and you're a joy to the people around you, is reducing your stress. What most people don't know, probably because they're too busy fighting online, by the way, nobody's mind has ever been changed in the comment section on the internet, is that stress can easily be reduced with one key nutrient. And that nutrient is magnesium. But the other thing that most people don't know is, even though that's true, we're deficient in magnesium because our soils are depleted in magnesium, so even organic food can leave you deficient in magnesium. Vitamin, mineral supplements oftentimes only have one weak form of magnesium, but Magnesium Breakthrough contains all 7 forms of magnesium that you need in order to reduce your stress. I just take a couple capsules in the evening, and Magnesium Breakthrough starts helping me shed my stress and get a good night of sleep so I can wake up the next day feeling great energy, being in a good mood, and ready to be productive and purposeful in life. That's why Magnesium Breakthrough has become an important part of my stress reduction routine for the last 2 years. I just take a couple capsules in the evening, and Magnesium Breakthrough starts to help me shed my stress. It helps me get a great night of sleep so I can ultimately wake up the next day feeling refreshed, in a good mood, with great energy, and ready to be productive and purposeful. So if you want to just live like an idiot and accumulate your stress so you can feel worse, stay away from Magnesium Breakthrough. But if you're like me and you want to feel great and reduce your stress, then just go to magnesiumbreakthrough.com/JP to get yours. And be sure to use the discount code AWAKEN for a healthy deal.